So listen, I wanted to do a video talking about mental illness and mental health, for that matter. Just because I suffered through it, I have a lot of friends who suffered through it, and I just know a lot of people in this society today suffer through it. So I think it's important to me that is talked about versus people treating it as if it doesn't exist, or that the people who deal with it are just outcasted, you know? So me personally, I can't even tell you how long it's been since I've dealt with this and how I've dealt with this. I honestly don't have an answer for you, because some people like me, you don't really know how long you dealt with it. You just know that you've dealt with it. For me personally, I decided that I needed to fix things. Recently, I lost a good friend, but it's not even because the person done anything bad to me. I mean, I won't say any names because I'm not that type of person. I don't do drama, nothing like that. But I think they understood that there was a problem and they knew what my problem was, but I was too wrapped up in my depression to even care about the fact that I was the one that was the problem. So for instance, like, I knew that I struggle with depression. I knew that that's nothing that I was ever dishonest about. But I didn't realize until now that I was very unhealthy with people. Like, as far as my friendships and relationships, family situations, etc., I don't remember much of my childhood, and I chose not to. Just because that's not what I wanted to deal with. Even now, to this day, I suppressed it so much I don't even remember. I remember some things here and there, some good memories here and there. I think that's what I tried to have myself think was, okay, let's just weed out the bad thoughts and keep the good memories of my childhood. But in a sense, like, I felt like as a child that I didn't get enough attention or assurance that I was good enough, or, you know, like, the love that I needed. I'm not saying that my parents are terrible parents or that I hate them or nothing, because I love my parents to death. I would take a bullet for them in the heartbeat. But what I'm saying is, that's how I felt. I felt like I was entitled to feel how I felt at that point in time as a child and, you know, in my teenage years. But as I grew up and became an adult, I started looking for that attention and reassurance as an adult, trying to make up for the past years that I didn't get what I needed. So as an adult, it's unhealthy because you push so many people away because they think that you're selfish, or they think that you just want to be in the spotlight, when in all reality, I ain't even that type of person. I don't like being in the spotlight. I don't like public speaking. Like, I will, but I don't like attention to a certain extent. I won't say that I don't like it at all. I think everybody likes just a little bit of attention. But what I'm saying is, when people would advise me that, you know, I love you, I'm here for you, I'm there for you. I've had so many times where people weren't, that I always needed that reassurance that one particular person was going to be there, or this particular person was going to be there. And it was a constant thing because I always had my anxiety telling me, you need to watch this person, you need to watch this person, because you never know. Remember, such and such and such and such left you, or such and such and such and such said they were going to be there for you, and they weren't. So I had so many instances where I was so wrapped up in myself that I couldn't even fix myself, if that makes sense. So what I would do was I would help other people. Now, don't get me wrong, even when the fact that I'm trying to move out of the situation and try to move away from depression and separate myself from that, I still have a good heart, and I still, you know, try to be there for people and help everybody. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal because I've never been like that. But anyway, in a sense, it helped me to be there for other people so that I could reassure myself that I was somebody good. I didn't do it for the attention. I did it because I'm like, okay, I helped this person, I helped this person, I helped this person. It makes me feel good that they can smile or that they can have a better life because I helped. And not even, I would never hang that over nobody's head because I would never want nobody to do that to me. You know what I'm saying? So I will always try to make sure that nobody went through what I went through or nobody felt how I felt. You know, like, for the most part, I'm a very private person, but if I trust you, I trust you. So I would never sit up here and tell somebody my whole life story or what I'm dealing with or what I'm going through at this specific time just to use you. Like, that's wrong to me. My parents ain't raised me like that. You know, I might have some differences with my parents, but my parents ain't never raised me to use nobody. My parents never raised me to lie. My parents never raised me to do none of that. I ain't like that. I don't have to lie for anything. But I think it's a problem because I lied to myself. It's different when you lie to yourself. When you lie to yourself, you make yourself believe that you're fine and you're not. And other people see that. Other people are like, sweetie, you are not okay. Or honey, you need help. And to me, I always felt like, why can't you just be there for me? Why are you putting me off on a therapist? Or why are you putting me off on a counselor? Why can't you just be that friend? Or why can't you just be that family member or that significant other? Like, why can't you just be that instead of telling me I need to go get professional help? But now that I look back on it, they were right. I can't even be upset. I can't even hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. Well, one person. That's not the point. But I don't hate anybody who ever told me you need help, or I can't help you because I don't know how to help you, or I can't be around you because you have a negative energy, or I can't deal with your reassurance, or you constantly feeling like I don't care about you. I can't deal with it. And you know what? I respect that more than anything else. I respect that more than somebody just cutting me off. I respect it just because you were real with me. You told me I had a problem. Now it was my turn to recognize the problem and figure it out. But because at the time I didn't care about that, I wasn't even in the right mindset. I didn't get it. But now looking back on it, granted, in some circumstances it's too late. In other circumstances, it's cool because I recognize that I had a problem and I could fix it. But it's hard, okay? I'm not going to discredit myself, and I'm not going to discredit anybody else. It's hard when your mind doesn't want you to get up out of bed. You don't want to go put on some clothes. You don't want to go out. You don't want to see anybody. You just don't want to do anything but nothing, literally, but sleep. You don't want to do anything. And it's hard to try to explain that to other people who don't get it, or who don't understand, or who haven't been through the situation. It's hard to understand what somebody else is going through. And let me just be real about it. I might suffer from depression and what I deal with, but I don't know the next person's story. I don't care how much you tell me and how much you say stuff to me and open up to me. I still don't know how you feel. And I keep trying to explain that to other people. Regardless if you know their story, regardless if you know how they feel, regardless of anything, you don't know how they feel. Period, point blank. You can never, ever, ever be able to fully put yourself in somebody else's shoes. That's why I always tell people I will try to put myself in their shoes, but their shoes don't fit me. Their shoes are not made for me. Their shoes are made for them. God put them in that situation, and God is going to help them see things through. But it's not meant for me to sit up here and try to put myself in somebody else's shoes. I can try to understand. I can have empathy. I can have sympathy. I can be there for you. I can be a shoulder to cry on. I can pull up when you need me to. But I can never sit there and 100% understand how you feel. Because Even if I was going through it, everybody's emotions is different. Everybody's mind process is different. Everybody works through things differently. And for me, I was always negative. It's just the environment that I was brought up in. And no, I'm not making no excuses. I want people to understand that. I'm not making no excuses. I'm only providing a reason. I'm only providing an explanation. But I am not making any excuses because I don't have no reason to. But I was brought up in a negative environment. Everybody was just so negative. Everybody didn't see the positive in anything. So growing up in that type of environment is hard to break out of it. It's hard to try to see a positive perspective. It's hard to see what other people see that you don't see. And oh my God, I can't stress to you how hard that is. Because people are like, I see this in you. You're a good person. I see this, I see this, I see this. But you're like, you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, okay, but what do you see? I see this bad thing about myself. I see this bad thing about myself. I see this bad thing about, I see all these bad things about myself. What do you see that's positive about me? Help me understand. And you know what? So many people tried. But because I was so wrapped up in negative thinking, I wasn't even trying to hear it. I'm going to be real with you. I wasn't trying to hear it. I wasn't trying to listen to it because I'm like, nah, they lying to me. Nah, they tripping. But when I finally realized, like, you know what? I am a good person. I might have depression. I might need some reassurance sometimes. And I might have a past that sucks. But I ain't never lied to anybody. I made sure I remain loyal to people because that's how I would want people to treat me. You know, I've always made sure I put people first. To me, people can say so many bad things about me. You know what? At this point, I don't care. But they can never say I was never loyal and I was never there for them. I was there for people more than I was there for myself because I was trying to heal myself by healing other people and it wasn't working because I wasn't healing myself. So that just goes to show that everybody deals with things differently. And I don't knock anybody for not wanting to put up with that. Because I've also been on the other side of the spectrum where I dealt with friends who were just so draining, like they physically drain you and you can't deal with their situation and your situation at the same time. Not to mention, they keep putting themselves through the same things and you don't understand why they can't just fix their life. Why can't you just change? What is so hard about it? But then on my side of the spectrum, I'm like, it's hard to see that you should change when you don't realize that you're the problem. Excuse my freckles, y'all. I look a mess, but this was important to me. So I just want to say, at the end of the day, I made my peace with God. I made my peace with myself, and I made my peace with the people that I still love. I don't care if they walked away from me. I don't care if they hate my guts. I don't care if they don't want to talk to me. I don't care if they don't even want to be friends with me anymore because of how unhealthy I was. That ain't gonna stop me from loving nobody. I'm just a loving person. That's who I am. But excuse me, that ain't gonna ever change me. I'm never gonna switch up. As many times as I thought to myself, you know, this person did this bad thing to me, this person said this to me, this person ran out on me, this person like so many things. I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not gonna deal with nobody. I'm gonna treat everybody like they ain't worth nothing. But at the end of the day, God ain't make me that way. I'm gonna be real with you. He did not make me to be a backstabbing kind of person. He did not make me to be a hateful person. It's just not in my nature. I've tried it. I've tried to be like, you know what, I hate everybody. I'm done with people. But I can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like people because people just suck. But I can't just sit up there and be heartless because I know what I dealt with and I know what I went through. So I can't sit up here and watch the next person go through the same thing I went through. If I got it, you got it. If I know how to help and I know, you know, certain steps that you could take that may help you, I'm going to give you that piece of knowledge. I'm going to try to feed you positive energy. That's one thing about me. I may have been negative to myself and with my own situations. But if anybody that I knew was going through something, I remained loyal and I always was positive to them. Like, nah, sis, or nah, bro, you got this. You a good person. You need to look yourself in the mirror and understand that you're a good person. But I couldn't reflect that stuff on myself because I didn't feel like I was enough. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I'm 100% better, because nothing changes overnight. I still struggle. I still don't want to deal with people. I still don't want to get out of bed. But I push myself because I know that it's a greater purpose for me. And if I can help somebody else in the future, that's all that matters to me. I don't need no publicity. I don't need, anybody to comment on me. I don't need anything. If I could help somebody become the best self of them, or however you say that, then that's all that matters. I don't need any attention in that aspect. And that's what I mean. I don't need any spotlight to say, oh, I did this for this person, or oh, I helped this person. I don't need any of that, because that ain't how my parents raised me. My parents did not raise me, not even my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, and they did not raise me to be a user or to be a hateful person. As much as so many people did things to me, it's only one person that I truly can't stand. And I'm not going to share that information. I'm not going to give names, because I'm not going to even give that type of negative energy. I'm not going to even feed into that, because it'll trick my mind into thinking that, okay, well, since this is negative, let's feed off of it. Let's feed off of this negativity. When in reality, I want my mind to feed off of positivity. I want to have people that's surrounded by me that's positive. And you know what? Let me scratch that. I did have people that were positive around me, and I chose to be negative. And I do want to apologize to those specific people, because I can't even explain how positive so many people were around me. But it's hard to hear somebody be positive, and it's unnatural. It's like doing something that you've never done before and you scared to death to even jump out on faith. That's exactly what it felt like to me. Somebody was like, you just need to be positive, or you need to do this. I'm like, be positive for what? For why? What is that going to do for me? So in reality, it really ain't that bad. It's not hard to be positive. Well, let me not lie. It's hard to be positive. But when you really do it and you really repeat it every day, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. When you tell yourself in your mind, think positive, think positive. Like, for instance, I had a situation that I was thinking about earlier that was bringing me down. And I was like, no. We're not doing this. I had to physically, openly, loudly, not to myself. I had to speak it out loud and tell myself, we are not doing this. We are not going to be negative. We are not going to dwell on this situation. If this is what God wants for me, then it is what it is. I'm not going to sit up here and constantly dwell on it, because then I'm going to keep sinking deeper and deeper into this hole that I've been trying to dig myself out for years. And I don't want to go down that road again. I'm good. I'm done. I don't want to deal with it. I have a counselor, so I'm open about that. I'm open about a lot of things. You ask me, I'll tell you. I have a counselor. I've had her for 5 years. She is God sent. She's real. She's true to me. She makes sure I'm good. If I need something, she's there. But she helped me really understand psychology and really understand how the brain works and how you're not responsible for your depression. I think a lot of people think that we are. But when you have a chemical imbalance and you're not getting enough dopamine, or you're not getting enough positivity in your mind, you unconsciously train your mind to be negative, and you don't even know it. And again, I'm not making no excuses. I'm not saying, I'm just going to blame this on chemical imbalance. I'm just going to blame this on this. Part of it was my fault. I mean, granted, I sunk into a depression, and then I had plenty of chances to get out. I had plenty of times where I was like, okay, let me use this period of time to just jump out on faith and let God just steer my entire life. But it was my fault that I chose to be like, you know what? Why even do that? For what? What is that gonna do for me? What is that gonna do for me? Am I gonna be better? Probably not, because I haven't been better in the past 5 years or whatever. So I just was like, for what? Why would I do that? I'm getting emotional. But in reality, I can't even explain to you how content I've been the past few weeks. If somebody is done with me or they walk away, or some new person comes into my life, or some bad situation happens, or something negative, I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. That's the way this earth works. Not everything is perfect. Not everything is positive. And as much as I've lied to myself about how bad I was, and as much as I thought negative about myself, I know that I'm not perfect. I've never ever claimed to be perfect. I'm very far away from it. But all I know is, regardless of what I deal with, I always strive to help people and put people first. Because if you're good to earth, if you're good to people, it will reciprocate eventually. It may not reciprocate in this situation or that situation, because again, not everybody else is perfect, and people suck at the end of the day. But if you do good, good will come to you. That's all I can say. It's good karma too. You know what I'm saying? It's good things that can potentially happen to you. And to be honest with you, when I finally sat down and realized and talked to myself, like, it's funny when people are like, oh, she talked to herself, or oh, this person talked to herself, and he talked to himself. But it's funny when you genuinely sit there in silence and you talk to yourself, and it's like you go through your files in your brain of, okay, I'm gonna pull this one out, I'm gonna pull this one out. It's like an investigation. Let me put it like that. It's like putting 2 investigations together, or several investigations together, and finding one problem, or finding one suspect, or finding one issue. So I felt like I had the time to physically and mentally pull all my files together in my brain of what happened, or what I dealt with, or who did what to me, and put it all together and pinpoint the problem that I had. Not the problem that this person had, or not the problem that this person had, or not who walked out on me, or who lied to me, or who did this to me, or who stole from me, whatever. It was not that. It was the fact that, okay, I can't control other people. I can't control anything that anybody does to me. I can't control it. It is not in my control. I may be able to fight them, I may be able to cuss them out, but at the end of the day, it's already done. Me fighting that person or me cussing them out ain't gonna change the fact that something has been done to me. The only thing that I can change is me and the problem that I have. That's the only thing that I can change. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with finally realizing that you are unhealthy. It's okay. It's okay that you realize you're unhealthy. When you realize it, take action right then and there. I'm gonna be real with you. I realized it a while ago, but I wasn't there mentally enough to change it right then and there. Because if you sit there and open all your files in your brain and you realize that you're the problem, if you don't handle it right then and there, your brain is going to trip you into thinking, okay, now you just opened all this can of worms, and now we're about to be even more depressed. So just go to sleep, or just do this, or go be suicidal, or go kill somebody. Like, it's just so many things that can go through your brain if you're not careful about fumbling through stuff that you're not ready for. That's probably the honest piece of advice I can give you. If you're ready to move forward, be cautious. And I'm gonna also be honest and say, depression is never, ever, 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 ever ready for you to leave. Ever. It is never, there is not one time on this earth or in your time of living that depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, any of that is ready for you to depart away from it. It will swarm you into being surrounded by it, that no matter what situation it is, it will not let you go. So you have to be very careful with opening up to yourself. Not opening up to other people, opening up to yourself and being real with yourself and being honest with yourself and loving yourself and accepting the fact that, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. But we need to let it go, and we need to focus on today and focus on the future. You cannot control anything in the past. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it but change who you are from today and forward. Like, I can't even tell you how relieved I was to be like, wow, I can't believe that I'm the problem. I've heard it so many times. Ajane, you need to get it together. Ajane, you need too much attention. You need too much reassurance. You're this, and this. And so many times I'm like, you know what? That person is so rude, and they don't care about me, and they hate me, and they this, and they this, and they this, and they that, and I hate them. I ain't gonna never do nothing for them. They ain't got nothing coming from me. But when I really sat down and was like, Ajane, you are unhealthy, sweetheart. I love you, but you're unhealthy, and you need to fix it. As soon as I did, I called my counselor, like, listen, I need to come to you. This needs to be fast. I need to be able to tell you what the issue is, and I want to be able to work on it right away, because I feel like it was crunch time. I feel like I only had a small window of time before I let my brain trip me into thinking, okay, well, now we figured this out. Now let's go be depressed again, or let's go be suicidal, or let's go do this. Let's go be negative, or let's go pour out all our feelings to a friend or a family member. And now they overwhelmed with my life, you know? I had time to explain to my counselor. I mean, it's so hard. I'm not going to even pretend like this is easy to even say to you or to anybody else. It's very hard to be open about it, but I want people to understand that it's okay to be open. But it's an unexplainable feeling, I'm going to tell you. It's unexplainable to really be able to open up to yourself and be honest with yourself and be truthful with yourself. It's easy for me. It's not easy for everybody, but it's easy for me to be loyal to somebody else, to be truthful to somebody else, to do anything for anybody, to come when anybody needs it, or to support those that I love. It's so easy for me to do that because I'm a genuine person and I love to help people. That is just how God made me. But it was so hard for me to reciprocate that for myself. And I think that's what so many people struggle with, is self. You know, a lot of people who are depressed will do any and everything for somebody else, but they can't do that for themselves. They will give out the best advice for other people, but they can't follow their own advice. And to other people, you're a hypocrite, you're not truthful, you're a liar. But in our reality, I'm going to be real with you. You may be those things, but you are those things to yourself. You are not those things to other people. If you know you're a good person and you know you're truthful and you know you're loyal to other people, you don't even have to worry about what they say. You don't even have to let your mind hear that information, because then you gonna end up turning into that. No, you don't do that. You stay true to who you are to other people, and you find yourself within that time span. Don't sit up there and let nobody else, whoever, I don't care if it's your parent, do not let anybody determine who you are but you. God ain't make you to please other people. He made you for him and you. There is no reason that you need to sit up here and constantly think about how people did you, what people said to you, and people put their hands on you, or I don't care what it is. There's no reason for you to sit up there and constantly dwell on it because you feel sorry for yourself. And no, I'm not pity partying you, and no, I'm not coming down on you, and no, I'm not being hateful to you, because I've been in your, I'm not going to say I've been in your shoes, but I've been there before. And I'm going to explain to you that when you in such a depressed mindset, it's like watching an old sad story. It's like sitting there watching a black and white tape, a sad story of just repeating it over and over and over and over and over. It's like a cassette tape, or it's like a record player. It's like a movie that just keeps constantly playing and you can't turn it off. As much as you press the power button, as much as you turn the volume down, as much as you walk away, you can't turn it off. It's like it's a dark cloud over your head. That's exactly what it's like. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to explain to people that, first of all, you are not alone. You are not alone in anything that you do with it. Depression is so common, it's not even funny. And not depression. I know people suffer from bipolar 2 or bipolar 1. I have bipolar 2. So I have depression and I have bipolar 2. If you have time, look it up. Bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 are not the same. Many people think that it's just only one bipolarness or bipolar disorder. So if you have time, look that up. But again, you are not alone in anything that you do. This is very common, and you just need to find yourself and understand yourself. And you need either a counselor that's going to be there for you and guide you through freedom and happiness and contentment, or you need a good friend or spouse or somebody that's going to help you pull yourself together. You need something, because I'm going to tell you right now, you can't do it by yourself. I won't say you can't do it by yourself, but when you so wrapped up in your mental disorder, it's very hard for you to be able to pull up your own bootstraps and help yourself out. It's like when people say, I can lead the horse to the water, but I can't make him drink it. That's exactly what it is. So many people like, you need to go get counseling, or I'm gonna help you with this, or I'm gonna give you these resources, or I'm gonna tell you that, you need to not go in that direction because it's gonna be bad for you. They can tell me what I should not do to myself, but it's only up to me to say, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. You're right. I'm not gonna be negative. I'm not gonna go down that road. I'm not gonna dwell on that situation. I'm not gonna dwell on what that person did to me. I'm not gonna dwell on what happened to me in the past. I'm not gonna dwell on what my family member did to me. I'm not gonna dwell on anything, because it's gone. I can only worry about me now in the future, and that's it. So as always, if you need me, or if you need to reach out to me, or if you need to just vent or scream or cry or meet up, go get some coffee. I mean, I work like crazy, but if you need anything from me, I'm gonna always be a real one and be there for you. Whatever you tell me goes to the grave with me. Somebody gonna have to shoot me, because I ain't that type of person to give nobody's information. Even if I'm not friends with that person anymore, I don't speak bad about anybody. That just ain't the vibe that I want for you or for me. That's just not how I am. So if you need to confide in me about something, if you need to talk to me, if you need anything from me, please reach out to me. I also have a blog that you can check out. I just posted it. I'm gonna try to start posting it a little bit more. It is called Nouveau Queen, which is modern queen, basically. Nouveau Queen version.blogspot.com, and then my email address is Nouveau Queen version @gmail.com. I will post it just so if you guys have questions on how to spell it, or if you forget, I will post it for you guys. That is my specific email address addressed to whoever needs it. That's not my personal email. I mean, technically it is, but that's not my personal email that I use for work or use for anything else. That is just strictly for discussing mental illness and talking about it and being there for people. That's not for anything else. Do not email me about, hey, I want to talk to you, you cute. Please don't do that. And I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. Just please don't email me that. That is specifically for people who need it, and specifically for people who need to talk, and they need an outlet, or they need some guidance, or they need some something. So anyway, I hope you have a good night. And like I said, always remain true to yourself and learn how to love yourself.